All right, welcome back to Sun Crypto. In today's content, we're going to talk about BTC. We're going to talk about BTC on the macro scale, all the way down to the 1 hour time frame and all that good stuff. We're going to take a look at Ethereum and also XRP on the macro scale and all that good stuff, guys. So if you're new to the content, make sure to hit the likes, subscribe to the channel, join the public Telegram group, link in the description. You can also join the Discord public group, link in the description and all that good stuff, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and dive into the analysis regarding BTC and what type of price action we could anticipate over the next like a few days and so on, right? So let's go ahead and take a look at the 50 days cycle before we talk about the lower degree and all that good stuff, guys. So guys, make sure to hit the likes. We got 14 watching and 7 likes, so make sure to hit the likes. And hey, what's up, Gizmo? Thanks a lot for tuning in. KAOSFR in the house. What's up, man? So the 50-day cycle, it is still bearish, even though we opened the cycle on the 31st. It's already like 6-7 days, right, since like we opened the 50-day cycle, and it is still bearish. Right now we're sitting just above the 7 EMA right here. The 21 EMA, it is just about like a 20k, but it is not going to get there anytime soon. Okay, I don't think we're gonna get a big capitulation right now down to like a 20k. It could move sideways, but who knows? Okay, it could move sideways for the next like a few weeks and so on before a retest of the 21 EMA on the downside, if and only if we're going to be in a bear market, right? So the resistance level going to be absolutely, guys, our 60k area, give or take, right? We're going to be looking for the 60k resistance on our 50-day cycle. If we break it, we could be saying, hey, it is time to go to the moon and all that good stuff. We do know exactly what type of price action we're going to be anticipating once we break our 60k resistance on our 50-day cycle. The cycle gonna close on July 19th, so we got like over 40 days to go. So we got plenty of time, right, regarding this cycle. So if for whatever reason, okay, if like we get a sudden drop all the way down to below 25k, it is going to be a good buy on the 50 days basis, okay? Meaning like you don't care about like what's happening right now. You're just basically trading the 50-day cycle and you're buying for the next like a big cycle reversal to the upside, right? Something to basically keep in mind. But overall, the 50-day cycle is bearish. It is calling for lower prices. It could be slow, it could be a slow slow bear market also, okay, if we're going to be in a bear market. We're not 100% sure if we're still in a bear market, right, or not. Okay, we just have to wait and see over the next like a few days and so on. So what we talk about regarding the 3-week cycle was like, we know exactly our 3 weeks 21 EMA right here going to be our strongest support right there. Okay, so that's what I'm saying, guys. In order for the bears to be to be calling for a bear market, they need to break below 30k. Okay, they need to break below 30k. I'm not sure how long, once again, it is going to take to break below 30k, but we know 30k support, it is going to be our new 6k support. Okay, not 6k support, but it is going to be our new 6k. If you remember what happened back in 6k right here back in 2018, right, we basically moved sideways for like nearly over 6 months, right, from starting right here, right there, okay, from like a January, almost 11 months ago, guys. We've been moving sideways, just about the 6k area for like a nearly 12 months before the capitulation, right? We could see a potential sideways correction in this range if we do not break the 30k. Okay, so 30k support, right? Something to basically keep in mind. Hey, what's up, Ray? Thanks a lot for tuning in. So now let's dive into the monthly. So the monthly, so we're looking at the monthly 21 EMA as as a potential support, right? We're going to be keeping an eye on the monthly 21. We talked about it when BC was at 20, not 20, but 42K, right? We said if we break the 30K, we're going to be looking for the monthly 21. So the monthly 21, it is going to be similar to the 3 weeks 21 EMA. Price action definitely going to get a big bounce from the monthly 21 right here. Okay, we're going to get a potential big bounce, right? So if you take a look at the monthly 21 at the same time, we talk about it multiple times, right? In terms of a short-term bull market, when we started the bull trend right here, give or take 98, right? 9.8K, right? Right here, it is going to be at 50% pullback, okay, from the 10K support up to basically a 65K resistance, right there. Okay, the entire move, okay, 50% of the entire move going to be right here, just about like a 25K, give or take, right? So a beautiful support range to anticipate if you're basically patient enough, because it is not sure like we're gonna get there, in June. But if we do, it is going to be great because we can anticipate another potential move back up, okay, potentially to a 0.618 somewhere around here again, right? So monthly looking pretty healthy, and as of now the monthly RSI, it is still positive, so it means like we could still get a big support at the monthly 21, okay, because we got a big connection between RSI and 21 EMA. So price action, most of the time when price action is above the 21 EMA, right, and RSI is positive, right, you don't tend to see like a high volatility below the 21 EMA. But once we break below the 21 EMA, that's when you get the high volatility. As you can see right here on the monthly basis, as soon as we drop below it, it dropped very hard, okay, right here dropped very hard. Could we get the same setup? It is something like we're just gonna have to wait and see what type of price action we could get right here. Are we gonna drop lower or not? Because most people are anticipating like 10K, right? 10K BTC, 11K, and all that good stuff. But we're just gonna have to wait and see if we're gonna be breaking the monthly 21, right? So 10K going to be right there, okay, 0.618. Okay, like Buzz was talking about the 10K macro support, it is going to be at 0.618, but it is not a call right now. I'm not calling for 10K. I'm just basically following the 3 weeks 21 and the monthly 21, and after that we're going to basically talk about what type of price action we could get once we break below the monthly 21. Monthly 21 breaking it, it is going to be a capitulation, definitely. We've seen it multiple times. Once again, I just showed you the 2018 capitulation right there, okay, 2018 capitulation, 2020 capitulation right here. If we go back in 2014, we got the same setup right here, capitulated all the way down and basically started the bull market, right? So it is a macro setup. It is not like a day trading setup. It is not like you're gonna be sitting in front of your computer 24 hours and waiting for BTC to drop down to 10K. It could take, guys, it could take some months, okay? So hey, what's up, Mustafa? Thanks a lot for tuning in. So guys, hit the likes. We got 23 watching. Hit the likes and share, right, if you are enjoying the content and you're looking for some moonshots, right? So now let's go ahead and dive into the weekly time frame, right? So the weekly time frame, I think like the biggest support level we're going to be looking for on the weekly basis, it is going to be our 200 MA, okay? It is going to be right there, okay? That's right there, okay, the blue line, and it is exactly right now just about like 18.7. So 18.7, it is going to be our weekly 200 MA, right? So if you basically like to buy at the weekly 200 MA, you got plenty of time to wait, right? You don't care about like the monthly 21 and all that good stuff. You could be just waiting for your 200 200 MA, right? So let's do this. Let's do this. Let's get the 200. Okay, so that's the wrong blue, right? But let's do this. Okay, it is right there, just about like 13K actually, right? So if you're basically very bearish and you're looking for lower prices, you could just be waiting for the next like a few months and see if price action gonna give you a retest of the weekly 200 MA. It is right now at 13K. So you got quite you got a good room to go, right? If you're waiting for a retest of the 200 MA, right there, right here. So what does it mean? It means like if we capitulate below the monthly 21, right, we're just gonna be buying at the weekly 200 MA. Okay, something to keep in mind. I'm not saying we're gonna retest it right now because we just don't know how long BTC gonna be staying in this range. We just don't know if BTC gonna be creating a flat correction right here on the bigger picture also. Okay, it could create a flat or even a triangular formation right there. Okay, we could still get a pattern like that. Okay, so that way our our 200 MA could basically be somewhere around here, but I don't think that's going to be the case, right? Because it's going to take forever with this pattern. It could take like a year to create this pattern, right? It could take a year just to create this pattern on on the weekly basis, right? With the apex right around like August 2020. So that's going to be crazy. I hope not, right? We're going to be creating this pattern, but we will see, right? So but just to cut it short, right, the 200 MA on the weekly basis at 13K, right, at 13K. So hey, what's up, Bibu, thanks a lot for tuning in. So now let's go ahead and take a look at BTC on a daily basis and all that good stuff. So before we talk about the daily, let's move on to the let's take a look at it on a 3-day basis. So if you take a look at BTC on a 3-day basis, so we're still right around the 236 support, right? And 21 EMA, it is just about like a 44 45K give or take on a 3-day basis, right? So but we're not, we're still quite bearish because MACD, it is still trending down, right? We need our MACD to stay positive. Once again, you could be buying like when MACD is negative, but the thing is, you're not going to be getting like a reversal, like a strong reversal pattern. It could be just a pump to the upside to retest the support area right here, then create a big head and shoulder pattern formation, and a potential capitulation down here. That's also possible, but we're just gonna wait and see because based on the 2019 pattern right here, right, you guys remember when we capitulated down to the 100 EMA right there, okay, we got what, a 40% pump, and we dip all the way down, created another basically a bullish divergence right there on the 3-day basis right here, right, created a bullish divergence and basically pump to the upside right there. Okay, so if that's the case, we could just say we could get a potential bearish head and shoulder pattern formation. All the bulls gonna be calling for 100K and all that good stuff, and price action could give us a U-turn right there, right? And basically dump down to at some point down to 25K and so on, right? But we will wait and see what type of reaction we're gonna get right here, because I think like we're gonna get some sort of a breakout, from this range. Okay, we've been moving sideways since like the 22nd, something like that, right? On the 19th, right? Almost like 3 weeks with no basically a bullish pump. So we just have to wait and see if BTC gonna be pumping right here. Okay, so but it is based on the 3-day basis. Once again, it can still drop down to a 30K and still pump to the upside. Okay, so the pattern is based on the 3-day. It can still do something like that. You're just not going to count this, right? Just going to do something like this, right? But as of now, let's go ahead and move on to the 2-day basis. The 2-day basis, MACD is curving now. It is starting to go flat right there, right? So it is positive. That's a good news. So we just need a bullish crossover right there. Once we get the bullish crossover, we could basically start to look for a potential pump over the next like a few days and so on, right? So once again, resistance going to be right here, 43 on the 2-day basis. On the 3-day basis, it is going to be 45 if we get the pump, okay, over the next like a few days and so on, right? So keep an eye on your 2-day and 3-day MACD, right? So on a daily basis, it doesn't look bad at all. MACD, it is still positive, right? Even if we get the bearish crossover, we could still anticipate a potential divergence right here. It means like even if we get a rejection, right here and dip lower, we could create a potential divergence like that and flip bullish again, right? Move sideways right here and basically try to retest the 2-day 21 after that right there. It is possible, okay? So don't be too bearish, okay? I wouldn't be too bearish at 30K or so on, right? So now let's go ahead and take a look at the 6-hour time frame. Hey, what's up, Buzz? Thanks a lot for tuning in, right? So 6-hour right here, MACD is negative right there, could turn positive again, right? But as we said, after the big dump right here, right, we said our 21 EMA on the 6-hour going to be our next resistance, right? So as you can see, even though it pumped last night, you just wake up, exactly like the 21 EMA going to be a tough range to break. Price action close above it, could not open and close above it, decided to dump all the way down below the support area. Okay, so now it is quite critical regarding the 6-hour time frame, because we basically now using the previous support right here, the trend line support of the big triangle right there, okay, the yellow line right there. So now it could be acting as a resistance, okay? And if that's the case, we could drop lower, okay? Remember, the 6-hour basis doesn't care about the 3-day, the 3-day time frame, because the 3-day time frame, what we were saying was like it can still drop lower, okay? What we were saying is like the 3-day time frame can still drop right here and basically reverse back up. So if that's the case, right, we could say if we basically break, we already broke the trend line support right here. If we break out below it, right, we could be looking for all the way down to 31K, okay? But we also got a 0.618 support right there, temporarily right there, just about like a 33.615, okay, right here. So that's going to be our temporary support. If you basically short-term trading, you could be looking for over the next like a few days a potential support at 33, 33.5, 33.6, somewhere around here. Okay. So now let's go ahead and dive into the hourly basis. The hourly is kind of tricky. It was calling for a reversal. I was saying it in my premium group like this morning. when we were getting this drop right here, I was like, we can still drop down here and basically try to create a flat correction right there. So keep an eye on, you know, we could get this flat correction and still drop down on the hourly basis. So something to keep in mind, because we got this hourly bullish crossover on the MACD right here. It is not a clean divergence, right? Let's take a look at it on the 2 hour, not. Yeah, on the 45 minutes, we do got a clean divergence right there. So it is a bullish divergence. So we could stay bullish over the next like a few hours, or even like till the weekly open. Price action could decide to just retest the top right here. Okay, just like what we got right there, right here. Okay, so we got this flat correction right there. You know, you can see like flat. What happened, right? We basically dumped down here. Okay, so we could create a potential retest of the top just about like a 37.8, and that's based on the hourly, not daily, not weekly, not nothing. Okay, just the 45 minutes to a 1 hour time frame, right? The, you know, the other pattern you could be calling for is also, you know, you could just ignore the big flat correction and you just call, you know, this small flat correction right here. It is also possible, but both scenarios, right, they calling for low prices. Okay, even though it is a bullish divergence right here, it is just a bullish divergence to create a correction. Okay, so let me show you what I mean, right? So sometimes price action, for instance, can drop like that, can drop heavily in red, right? And you're gonna basically get a pump to the upside, right? And a retest of the bottom right there, right? And once you retest your bottom, you're gonna get something like that. Okay, your MACD, they're gonna do something like this. Okay, your MACD, they're gonna do something like that. Okay, and basically you're gonna get your bullish what divergence. Okay, so once you get your bullish divergence like that, right? Right, so you're going to be calling for a reversal, but you just have to be cautious, because the bullish divergence could be just to create a bigger flat correction right here. It could sometimes break the top, right? You just don't know, but you're just going to say, hey, it's going to retest the top, and after that you're going to get this move to the downside, right? So your MACD once again going to basically continue to the upside, and then basically ended up fading away. Yes, it gives you your bullish divergence right here, but it was only for the correction, not for a reversal, as we saw right here. Okay, as you can see, MACD right here give us our bullish divergence. What happened right here? We got the move to the downside. We retested the top right here, but ended up basically creating a continuation. Okay, but at the same time created a bigger divergence. But sometime right here, you know, you could also create a bigger divergence. Okay, something like that, you know, where your MACD is still going to stay in the same range, right? And price action could give you something like that, and after it's going to reverse, right? So that could be the potential setup. I'm not sure, right? But if we get the bigger correction right here, so if you shorted the top just about 39k, you just have to suck it up and put a stop loss just in case we get a wick to the upside, if we basically pump back up above like a 37.8, right? And basically continue to the downside, right? But it looks good on the hourly basis. Okay, so it looks very tradable, right? Price action above at the 21 EMA. It is just about the 21 EMA right now. The next resistance is going to be 100 EMA, just about 36,916, right there. Okay, give or take. Okay, 36,921. Hey, what's up, Alexander? Thanks a lot for tuning in, Alexander. So 21 EMA resistance, right? Volume doesn't look bad at all. Okay, volume doesn't look bad on the hourly, but pretty tricky. Okay, pretty tricky. Very tricky on the hourly basis. So now let's go ahead and move on to Ethereum. So Ethereum, I'm gonna stick to the higher time frame, right? As we discussed before regarding Ethereum. On a weekly basis, volume is pretty low. Price action, it is still above the. Let's take a look at it right here. 25 MA. So price action, it is still above the 25 MA. Right here, we basically dump all the way down to the 25 MA and bounce right back up. Over the last 2 weeks, Ethereum is just, it's just been pumping to the upside, right? So if you basically sold the bottom, you don't want to be buying the top. You just want to wait at least for Ethereum to retest the lows right here. You could re-enter, or you're gonna be waiting for lower prices all the way down to like a 1330. If you take a look at it right here, back in like a February, we got a big dump, big volume right here. Most likely, okay, Ethereum gonna be trying to retest the mid 1550 down to like a 1330 if BTC is going to break, or even like retest 30K. Okay, that's possible, right? It's not guaranteed, but something to keep in mind, because we got a big sell volume right here, and price action most of the time loves to go back and retest these big sell volumes. Okay, and we got another one right there, okay, which is just about like 1150. But that's going to be a macro setup just in case we break below 2000. We won't be calling for like a $200 Ethereum right away, because we know we got like I'm not calling for $200, but I'm just saying, right? So just in case we basically retest like a 1400, 1500, we know exactly it is time to be buying, not time to be selling. Weekly 100 EMA just about like a 19. Weekly 100 EMA just about like a 955, but could be trending up over the next like a few weeks. So keep an eye on it. It is going to be a good level to be buying at if you just wake up one day and basically see the market red and Ethereum at the weekly 100 EMA, you know exactly it is going to be a good time to be buying, right? So keep an eye on Ethereum. Macro support 1550, 1330 right here. Okay, temporary support, it is still going to be just about like 2110 all the way down to like a 1910 area right there. Okay, temporary support. Okay, temporary resistance, it is still going to be our all-time high as of now. We're going to be looking for like a let's say 1344, which is like a weekly closing basis. Weekly closing basis right there. Okay, 1319 give or take, right? So it could be a very, very interesting week. MACD is still positive for Ethereum, right? So now let's go ahead and move on to King XRP on the macro view. King XRP, like Aldo was saying, Aldo was waiting for this dump to the downside right here. So it dumped down to the weekly 25/weekly 21, pumping to the upside right now. Volume is kind of low on, on Poloniex. MACD is turning negative. That's not a good sign, okay? So what we need to do right now is like look for our next like a fib retracement to the downside, and I would be looking for the entire move from like 10 cents all the way up to $2. Okay, right there. Okay, if you notice, well, if you basically like to use your Fibonacci's, you can see that we drop all the way down to the previous resistance right there based on closing basis, and at the same time we we basically drop all the way down to a 382 pullback. Okay, 64 cents. Guys, 64 up to 80 cents was our macro resistance from like 2018 all the way up to 2021. So we dip all the way down to 64 and bouncing back up. So we can definitely retest it, and 50% pullback going to be just about like 45 cents. Okay, if we break below 65, we're going to be looking for 45. If the move is extended, we could look for 31 cents. Okay, I think like all these prices going to be you know, good buy range for XRP for the next like a big leg up. Okay, so right here, but mainly we're gonna basically just keep an eye on 65, and after that, if you know the move is weak, we could be looking for, you know, down here 45. Okay, it could be a flat correction, we just don't know. Okay, but we're just gonna basically look for a bigger support area right there, 60 64 65 cents, right? Something to basically keep in mind over the next like a few days and so on. Now let's take a look at XRP on a 3-day basis. Okay, 3-day MACD still negative. Okay, volume still low, that's not a good sign. 100 EMA, once again, it is still at 68 cents, so not a good sign. Okay, moving averages, all of them right now above price, right? So that's not a good sign in the short term. Okay, so and XRP likes to consolidate forever, so it could be in this range also, even if market dips low. But you know, I wouldn't make that call so far. If market dips, most likely XRP will follow the market. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at a DOT. So DOT on a 3-day basis, so it dipped down to a 50% pullback. If we're gonna be retesting the 50% pullback, we could be looking for just about like right here again, right? Just about like a $15. Assuming like market going to be dropping lower. Okay, if like we're going to be reversing, definitely DOT going to be one of the first coin to be reversing with Bitcoin, so we could be looking for the retest of the top. But as of now, we're just going to be looking for the support area right here. If market basically decide to dump, okay, we could dump down to a 14. 0.618 going to be at 11 right here, 11.22. Okay, that's going to be the macro support. So keep an eye on DOT. Right, so let's go ahead and move on to a BNB. So BNB, similar structure. It dipped down to 236 right there, just about like, you know, 288 in price, right? But 236 based on Fibonacci. 382 going to be just about like 170, right? So keep an eye on BNB on the weekly basis. Our weekly 100 EMA is right now at 132, not quite yet at 382 support, but it is still looking good. Price action, even though like we got a negative MACD, we're still above the 211 EMA. So it means like if we're going to be dropping below the 211 EMA, it could drop hard, okay, because MACD is already negative. So you know, if we're going to be breaking the weekly 211, it could be a big drop. Okay, but once again, resistance, just like XRP, DOT, and all of that good stuff, it is going to be our recent highs right there. Okay, just about like a 680 to a 650 area. Okay, but breaking below the weekly 21 could be a key indication for a potential bear market for you know, for BNB over the next like a few weeks and so on. Now let's move on to a Litecoin. So Litecoin MACD weekly time frame negative, price action below the 21. Okay, we dipped down to the weekly 100 EMA. We just talked about the weekly 100 EMA on BNB. As you can see, some of these alt, they dumped down to the weekly 100 EMA, but BNB is basically holding very, very strong. Okay, so let's do this. Take out all that good stuff, right? So MACD is negative right here. Price action below the 21 EMA on a weekly basis, so it is a bearish sign. Okay, I talked about it on a 3-day basis, right? I said it regarding BTC. As long as we're basically negative on our 3-day basis, right, on our MACD and price action below the 21 EMA, it is a bearish sign. Okay, let's go back to BTC really quickly right here. So that's what I was saying right here back in back in October right there. We pump above the 21. We're just gonna need to wait till price action break below the 3-day basis and MACD staying negative. Okay, so we did get that set up, dump all the way down to our 100 EMA. So once again, our 3-day 21 going to be our resistance if we get any pump, and I think we're gonna get a pump. Okay, we're gonna get a big pump. Okay, so keep an eye on the wouldn't be shorting BTC below 35. If you want to short BTC, not financial advice, short it like above at least 38, right? Short it at resistance. Don't short it like, below 35 and all that good stuff, right? So because the head and shoulder, it is still in play right there. Okay, it is still in play right there, right here. That's still in play, and that could still give us a 3-way move right there. Okay, could give us a zigzag formation. Okay, right there. Okay, we can still drop once again to the low 30s and pump back up, to a mid 40s. But let's go back to a Litecoin. So Litecoin, once again, on a weekly basis, pretty negative, right? We could be dipping all the way down to a, $100 once again, like a 120 to a $100 if BTC will retest like low 30s and all that good stuff, right? So that's the 7 days chart. This candle open on the 4th, right, on Thursday. So but the weekly basis right here, just getting a slight rejection. Okay, so 7 days candle is, it is more, it is bearish actually. We've been bearish like the last 5 candles. Okay, so almost over a month. Let's take a look at the right here. Yeah, so looks pretty bad over the last 30 days. Looks pretty bad. Yeah, it dipped down to the monthly 21. Even though BTC, it is still above the monthly 21, you can see like Litecoin is basically giving us the blueprint. We drop down to the monthly 21, bounce right back up. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at Tezos, former Tezos Moonboy XTZ. So let's take a look at Tezos BTC, because Tezos BTC it is still not dropping. Like as I said, okay, like I said previously, if you bought like Tezos around like 6,000, 7,000 sats right there, it is still above like 9,000 right now versus BTC. Even though like the USD price is dropping, right, it hasn't been dropping versus BTC. Okay, it can still retest the support area right here. So if you're not comfortable, right, regarding like Tezos BTC, is like, just to go back to BTC and wait and see if Tezos is going to be breaking below support right here. Okay, if you're not comfortable, because we can still retest the support and still get a U-turn. We just don't know, right? But the structure, it is still above a support area. Okay, right here we did get a nasty rejection. That's not a good sign at all, right? But we will see. Okay, volume, it is still lower than the previous buy volume right here. Price action still below the 21 EMA, just like XRP. Back in 2019, I was saying it like XRP just need to break the monthly 21. Tezos could be basically could be bearish below the monthly 21 till we basically break above it also, right? Something to just keep in mind. But versus BTC, it is still looking pretty strong if you bought at 6,000, 7,000 sats. Okay, it is still over like 60-70% up versus BTC. and most of these alt, they're already at the bottom versus BTC, right? But Tezos, it is still like nearly 70% up versus BTC, right? So but if you basically only care about like XDZ USD, just like Litecoin, it just retested the monthly 21 right here. Based on trend line support, we back to the macro trend line support right there. Okay, we back to the macro trend line support, and the macro price support going to be just about right here, right there. And if you basically want to trade it based on Fibonacci, you could be just waiting for 0.618, and 0.618 going to be at $1. Okay, I'm not saying it's going to drop that low, but it is a Fibonacci area where when you see Tezos around like $1, exactly it is at at 0.618. Okay, sell volume pretty big on the monthly right here, okay, versus USD. But the good news, once again, it is at we're still above the nearly 3 years trend line support. We started the trend line back in January 2019, so over 2 years, right? Okay, over 30 years, over 30 months of support right here. So just have to respect it till we break below it. Okay, so let's go back to BTC. Let's take a look at 1 inch. So ADA, it is currently following BTC, but still moving sideways. Since like late May, still at trendline support right there. Could definitely try to retest the top of the trend line just about 185. So 185 going to be resistance to keep an eye on. If we break it, we could be looking for a 1-to-1 extension to the upside. That going to give us a new all-time high, almost at 280 and so on right here. However, if we basically drop below it, we're going to be looking for right here, just about like 80 to 90 cents. So we're going to keep an eye on ADA over the next like a few weeks to see which one going to be playing out. Versus BTC, it is still looking pretty right here. We're going to take a look at it versus BTC, but 0.618 once again, before we even talk about a 1-to-1 extension, most likely 0.618 going to be a temporary support at 130. Okay, 128, 130. Let's take a look at ADA BTC. It is still above 4K. So ADA BTC trend line support right here. You could try to draw it as a wedge pattern, but it is going to be ugly. Let's just see. We could look at it as a potential wedge. So but let's see if we're going to get this trend line right here or that trend line right there. But if we break it, okay, if we break below this trend line support, we're going to be looking for a retest of the low, to mid 3,000, okay, versus BTC. Resistance going to be still just about like a 5,000, okay, 5K. Take a look at it on a 3-day basis. Yeah, we got low sell volume, low buy volume right there versus BTC, so that's not good at all. Okay, it is a clean double top as of now. The 21 EMA just about like mid 3,000. Okay, as we just said, based on Fibonacci and all that good stuff and trend line, based on the candles and 3-day patterns, right? We likely to get a breakout very soon. Okay, support going to be right here. Okay, resistance still going to be at 5,000. If you just want to keep it like very simple on your 3-day basis, look for 3-day 21. Once we break it, we could be dropping all the way down to the 100 EMA right there temporarily. Okay, let's take a look at it on 7 days basis. 7 days basis, it is not that bearish on the 7 days time frame, really. If you take a look at it on a weekly basis, it seems like it is just a normal correction. Okay, so just need to break, like, you know, 5K right here versus BTC. Okay, that's all we need to do. If like we can break 5K, we could be looking for you know, 6,000. But as of now, I would just, you know, stick with the 3-day basis, right? If we dip down here, 3,500, 3,600 range, you know, it could be a good buy range right there for a potential bounce again. If we break it, you know, we could be dropping low. If we bounce back up, we could be headed higher. So let's go ahead and move on to a VET BTC. So VET BTC price action above the 3-day 21 right there. MACD is still negative, so we just have to wait for the bullish crossover. As we said, we talked about it previously. We said VET gonna be in this range, could be very boring over the next like a few months. So we talked about it like back in May, April. Okay, so we said you know, keep an eye on VET to potentially be moving sideways. It dumped down but picked right back up. So let's take a look at it on a weekly basis. Doesn't look that bad. Resistance just about like a 400 sats. Okay, 400 sats right here. Okay, but got a big dump right here. Somebody panicked and you know, sold a lot of VETs, and we dumped all the way down. Okay, so macro support right there. Okay, macro resistance just about 400 sats, macro support just about like a 200 sats. Should be close to 0.618, and yep, it is exactly at 0.618, 200 sats. All right, guys, I'm just gonna keep it short today, guys. So if you're new to our content, don't forget to hit the likes, don't forget to join the public Telegram group, link in the description, and all that good stuff. So be safe out there, right? Thanks a lot for watching.